Hey playa, I'm sure you've had your fair share of moments where you've said something stupid in front of your friends or you've tripped in front of the entire class. Recovering from embarrassing moments like this can be tough sometimes, but don't worry. My friend Martin from Peak Your Mind is here to share some advice and his own personal experiences when it comes to dealing with embarrassment.
Hey players, this is Martin from Peak Your Mind, and today we're talking about how to handle embarrassing moments and awkward situations like a boss. And the truth is, we've all had moments that are embarrassing or awkward situations like, man, I would love to just disappear right now. But how you handle those moments is everything. And the best way to handle those moments really comes down to two main things. And the first thing is you gotta own it. Whenever an embarrassing moment shows up in your life, the temptation is always to just pretend it didn't happen or like gypsy fade out of there, you know. But if you look at the most charismatic people or the best speakers or the best comedians, whenever something like that happens, they always just own it and run with it and embrace it. You know, if you look at, if you watched the Olympics recently and you saw the decathlon runner from the US team, right? This dude has done all these obstacles, man. He's exhausted. He's about to cross the finish line, just like dripping sweat, about to win a medal in front of billions of people watching, and he slips and falls on the finish line. And instead of just like pretending and just maybe playing dead or just laying there like, oh, I'll just like pretend I got hurt or like pretend this never happened, what did he do? He started doing push-ups on the finish line, which was such a boss move, especially after doing all those events and all those obstacles. And what was beautiful about that moment was this dude might be superhuman, he might be an Olympic athlete winning a medal, but in that moment it showed that he was human and relatable and that we all make mistakes or we all have embarrassing moments, and he just owned it. So when you can own it, that's when you can really handle those situations and navigate them in the best way possible. And it's funny, I had a moment recently, actually a few months ago, where it wasn't in front of billions of people, but my best friends, two of my best friends were getting married in Hawaii, and they asked me to be one of the groomsmen. I was all excited, you know, and it was a couple hours before the wedding, and I was in my attire, and we were with all the groomsmen, which was all our best friends, and we got a little rowdy, and I got maybe a little too rowdy, and I ended up splitting my pants. My buddy calls me over, he's like, dude, turn around. And he's like, dude, I think you split your pants. And I was like, oh no, dude, I don't want to ruin this wedding with my butt hanging out. And so he did his best to just like sew it up, but he doesn't know how to sew. So it wasn't the most secure stitch of all time. And I was like, dude, it's all good. I'm just gonna own it. I won't make any sudden movements. Let's just do this thing. And I remember walking out, about to walk down the aisle with the bridesmaids, who were also great friends of ours. And one of the bridesmaids comes up to me and she goes, hey, I heard you split your pants. And I was like, yep, guilty. I just owned it and had fun with it instead of like, oh, I can't possibly go to the wedding looking like this. Never! You know what I mean? Like, life happens, you know? But when you take those moments in stride, it allows you to own them, and it also opens you up to do the next tip, which is to laugh it off. Consider this. Having embarrassing moments is part of what makes us human and relatable. And usually what happens in those moments is, you know, people will say, oh, you know, one day you'll look back and laugh. And the way I see it is, why wait? You know, why not relish those funny moments in your life and laugh about it now, not take yourself too seriously, because that's part of what makes life fun, you know? And think about this. If you ever want to know the difference between kids and adults, on a rainy day, if a kid sees a puddle, they're jumping in, and they might slip and fall on their face, but they're gonna get up and find the next puddle and jump into that one. But an adult, if, you know, it's a rainy day or something, they're on the way to work, and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna jump in a puddle today. And they find a puddle and they jump in and they slip and they get drenched. They immediately they'll look around and be like, anybody see that? I ain't never doing that again, right? That's the difference, is having that kind of playful mentality of being able to have fun, not take yourself too seriously, being able to laugh at yourself. And true story, I was at work a few weeks ago, and it somehow slipped out that I dressed up for the Harry Potter movie premieres in front of my boss, and I was trying to, you know, prove myself at this point and be professional, and I knew there was no going back from that. I couldn't just like let that slide under the radar because they heard it. And so my boss goes, you did not dress up for the Harry Potter movie premieres. And I was like, yup, I did, and I loved it. That's how down I was for Harry Potter. I had my wand and everything. So I just had to own it and laugh it off and not take myself too seriously. And it turned that awkward, embarrassing moment into something funny, which now is an inside joke. So whenever you find yourself caught in an embarrassing or awkward situation, remember those two things. Own it and laugh it off, and you'll be able to handle any awkward situation like a boss. So that's it for today. If you like this video, come check out Peak Your Mind for more videos like this, and come check out the video that Josh made on my channel as part of this collab. Shout out to the Josh Speaks, shout out to the Josh Speaks family. Thank you for having me on your channel, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Thank you so much, Martin, for sharing your tips. I really appreciate it, and I know my audience does too. And if you guys want to go see the collab video I did over on his channel, click on my face or click the link in the description below. I talk all about how to make friends in high school. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I put out a new video every Tuesday and Friday sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. Martin is someone I've wanted to collab with for a long time because I feel like his channel offers insanely awesome advice that you guys would totally find helpful. And if you have any ideas for people you want to see me collab with in the future, leave a comment down below and let me know. As always, guys, love and peace.